have been well trained.
No.
in
You
my
don't have to carry a sword to be powerful.
I won't fail you.
Oh, do not.
I'm not afraid.
There is no try.
All right, we are back. Round 8. This is it for Destiny here at the Nova Open. I am here with Billy. How you doing, man?
Good. Ready for the last round.
I am ready for the last round. Yes, it has been a wonderful day. We've seen a lot of Destiny. Like, we're talking a lot.
Yeah.
Like 8 rounds, a lot. It's a lot.
A lot of Destiny. A lot of dice rolls.
We've seen so many different matchups, so many different players. It has been just an absolute joy to watch everyone pilot these decks. So we have Kyle and Drew playing each other here. We've got a droid mirror match. It's the same as we saw previously. We've got chopper droids on the left, Satine droids on the right. So, do you think the droids will win?
The droids have a good shot.
It's a good 50-50 that a droid player will win here. All right, so as we saw in the previous game, so Joe was playing Satine droids, and he started out with things like Hans Blaster. We saw crate speeders and supports coming out, and then the Chopper droid player was using a lot of upgrades to make Chopper really gross. Maybe you'll see something like Mr. Bones. What are we looking at here with these two decks early game to try and get some kind of advantage? Because at this point, neither player's played any sort of action sheet to get the R2-D2 3PO combo going.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be very similar to what we saw last game. It's going to determine if Drew on the right here can establish his board state to match Kyle. And these guys are teammates on Airbook, so it's probably a good idea that they're familiar with each other's decks.
Yeah, if that's not the case, you done goofed it. Now, Satine has a booty load of money. 6 resources in this game is quite hefty.
You are rich.
They are brothers, by the way.
Oh, well, congratulations. All right, Chopper rolls out. Not too terribly much. So what do you do with 6 resources with Satine? What are we going to see come out?
Entourage.
You know what? That's a good card. What does Entourage do?
It wins games.
Other than that.
Yeah.
Other than the obvious.
3 costs. I mean, indirect sides, the special that deals damage for the number of scoundrels out. I mean, it's just a really hard die to really deal with. I mean, it's not as punishing as, say, maybe Vader's Fist, but
right.
I mean, it does a lot.
I mean, I'd rather take a fist than an Entourage. Wait. I don't know about that.
So, Disrupt there...
Because the thing is, the Entourage searches for another Entourage.
Yeah, it's true.
But the fist, you can roll in 3 times on the first time.
Well, you know.
I think I take the fist.
Yeah.
Because the Entourage can get an Entourage, that can get a Fickle or a Hired, and now you have 3 supports on the table, whereas fist is fist.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kyle there disrupted Drew's resources and hit the money side on Entourage on Drew there, so...
All right, so we've seen the economy disruption that is very, very potent. Kyle takes a power action on Theed, which has been nerfed to fairness. So now you have to sacrifice 1 of your dice in order to make a resource. So he's going to be sleeving out some upgrades onto R2, which he's going to eventually activate and be able to flip 1 of his dice into a side of choice. So we could see some damage. We could see a lot of different things because 3 dice on R2 is pretty gross.
Here's Fickle coming out for Drew.
That's a good card. And Fickle has the action that you can purchase it from your opponent for 2 resources, which Kyle does not have. So unless he somehow rolls and resolves resources, Drew is completely free to roll that out and do as he wishes. Double blanks. Does he have, or will he play... Oh, no, he's going to flip it into 2. He'll say, does he have any kind of removal here to deal with that? But he rolls out Fickle.
Gets the disrupt side.
Don't know if that's going to matter right now, but yeah, they're going to disrupt each other potentially. Because now the Fickle can no longer do maximum damage.
Looks like, see easing pickings there in Kyle's hand. Got a blank there on R2. And got to flip to the 2.
Well, congratulations, R2 doesn't care. Because he's going to flip things into whatever he wants. So let's talk a little bit, since we've seen this matchup already, let's talk a little bit about the pacing of Destiny. Because now we've seen this match already, players should probably have a really strong grasp of how tempo and pacing in Destiny can really make a difference, because if you're an action or two behind your opponent, that can make a significant difference over the course of the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about thinking ahead. You know, you want to make sure that you are doing... You don't want to take too many chances. Sometimes you got to win the game, and but really you want to make sure that you're pacing at a good pace, making sure that you're staying at least with your opponent and not giving them too many windows to open up and exploit.
Right, and sometimes that means taking a die face that you don't necessarily want, but giving yourself the opportunity to claim at an important juncture, or giving yourself a resource you may not need now but could use later. There's a lot of different decision trees that makes Destiny a very intriguing game, because regardless of what's showing, there's always a play somewhere, and you as the player have to determine where you want to go with the options presented to you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that you can do. You have a lot of choices, and your choices matter in this game. You have a lot of ways that you can manipulate dice, manipulate your opponent's dice. So it all comes down to the way that you utilize your best dice possible. I mean, so, like you said, sometimes you got to take faces you don't necessarily want, but maybe that's the best that you can do right now without hurting yourself down the road.
Right, and that's what really makes some of these players just exceptional, is they have the ability to read what they have, what their opponent has, where they could go, and they're able to make the appropriate decisions and sacrifices to win the game, even though it might not be very clear-cut right off the bat. So Kyle plays... What is that?
Flee the scene. Yep,
yeah.
to get rid of the fickle die. He's got past the next 2 actions. Drew can claim, which he will, and that will be the turn.
Yeah, so Drew will claim, and then Kyle is forced to take the pass action, which will reset the round. Once again, this is one of those weird situations where not too terribly much happened. Drew has an entourage and a fickle online. Kyle has a salvage arm and a junk arm?
Grappling arm.
Grappling arm. Looks just like another card in a game I play. So we have 2 supports versus 2 upgrades. Thoughts on board state here?
They're about equal. I mean, obviously the entourage is significant over on Drew's side as well as the fickle. But I mean, salvage arm on Chopper is real good. So I know I just saw Kyle drew his Mr. Bones, so we'll see him come back out. Which I think, I mean, that's been a really MVP card in the games that we've seen for Kyle.
Yes.
I mean, he's been really, really solid for him.
Yeah, Mr. Bones has just been gross, because if you get him out early game, he can put pressure. If you get him out mid game, you can start putting mods on him. And since he is not a character, you can't kill him unless you have some sort of removal spell, such as Convergence or Dismantle or things like that. But if you have a mod on him, then you can't dismantle him. And if you're in the late game, you draw Convergence. There's so many different things that are happening that keep him in the game much longer and make it really difficult to get him off the board unless you have the right cards at the right time.
And I mean, it's with things like Apple for Violence or even these just like really small health characters, you might be able to get his reset off, which is even more value for that dice. Yeah,
I Perform Violence is a really funny card.
It is.
The art, the name, it looks like he's just stabbed someone. He's walking away like, I just killed that thing. You're like, what? Why'd you do that? He's like, because I performed violence. You're like, Mr. Bones, what is wrong with you? You're a monster! So Satine has got damage on deck. It is indirect damage, so it's not going to go into anything in particular, but it's still damage. All right, here we go. So this is going to be the Wombo combo play of Chopper. So he's going to overwrite, put a Chewie's Blaster on, and then at some point in the round, he's going to use a power action to put that salvaged arm right back on. So he just gets super duper value out of this play here.
Gets a disrupt on Chewie's Blaster.
It's not a bad thing to show right now. You can force your opponent to play a card, and if they don't, you eat the resource so they no longer can play any sort of mitigation. And then you get to roll out Chopper with the Blaster again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to resolve this 1 resource for 2 resources. So it's still a relevant play, but maybe Kyle will pitch to reroll.
Was going to get 2 more with Faithful Companion, so.
Yeah. Yeah, Drew's going to make a lot of money here because we know he has the entourage unless he discarded it. Which
I doubt it.
You don't think he kept it?
No, I think he kept it.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you search it out and then pitch it?
It's true. And if he plays it, he could search out a second Fickle, or he could search out something like Hired Muscle. All right, here we go. So he did pitch to reroll looking for some damage here.
And doesn't get it.
Chewy decides to go on a lunch break here. No damage. So Drew has an opportunity to do something of, well, it really depends on what he wants to do. But, like, that's the interesting thing about Destiny is there are points in the game where sometimes you just get a free turn where it's like they can't kill you, they can't stop you. So now what is the best play you can do without your opponent affecting you? Because you always want to do, like, 2 or 3 things, but you can only do one until then your opponent gets to respond.
Yep.
And that's what I think makes for some really interesting Destiny on top of top players being able to deduce of the 3 or 4 options I have, what is the best one to help me win or to set me up to win in a future turn.
Yep. So we got Drew bringing out the second entourage, went and got the Hired Muscle. So building that those supports up, that board state. See what Kyle does over here. I mean, he already rerolled once, and he's gonna bring the salvaged arm back.
I didn't see that coming.
I mean,
but
nothing gets past you, Sugi.
Something about these players that also are very intriguing is their capacity to sequence appropriately every single time.
Yeah.
Being able to consistently through 8-9 rounds, you know, if you go to Worlds, sometimes it's 9 rounds, you do 3 and 6 or whatever, or even a bigger event, sometimes with GQ you might see, who knows, it doesn't matter. But the reality is the best players in the world are always able to sequence properly, they make the right decisions, they activate and resolve their dice appropriately, and it's really fun to watch because you can learn a lot from some of these people just by watching how they do what they do.
Next we got 2 discard here and gets 3 discard, gets the Hidden Motive, the Crate Speeder, and the Hired Muscle. So destroyed Drew's hand there.
Feels really bad. Now Drew still has a lot on the table.
Yeah.
He's not out of the game.
No.
But he did have some pretty powerful tools that just got removed from his hand, which, since there's no recursion out of that deck, they're essentially removed from the game.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to have to make these entourages work, but he is in trouble if Kyle makes too much money and starts to buy Fickles off of him.
Yep.
Aha! Here's a Hired Muscle.
So he had 2 in his hand.
Yep. That's not a bad thing because
No.
I really feel like he has all the pieces he needs to win this game over the course of 2-3 turns.
Mm-hmm.
As long as he can roll damage. If he just rolls non-damage sides, it's going to hurt really bad.
Yeah. So we're taking the money here from 3PO. Chopper has not rolled much damage, though, this time.
No, that's true. There's a very low threshold of damage between these 2 players on turn 2, of all things. Now,
There's
that
a 3
doesn't really...
indirect from the
I was
Hired
about to
Muscle.
say, that doesn't mean anything
Yeah.
considering we have Satine on focus. We could easily see a lot of damage come out of this turn. All right, so here's what I was talking about earlier. Drew has basically a Tetris puzzle in front of him. He has the means to pay for dice. He has the means to flip to dice. Now we just have to watch how he does that.
Yeah. Takes the 2 from the entourage. Still got that focus from Satine. This would be nice.
Yep. And he also has the Thief Power action, which allows him to eat one of his dice and make up money. So he's still got plenty of options, which is really cool about this game is even though he has no cards in hand and he only has an R2-D2 available, he's not out of this by any means whatsoever.
There's some damage. You got 3 damage showing on Kyle's side. And we're going to do 5 indirect.
And that's going to feel really good because now Drew is starting to put the pressure on Kyle. It is realistically a base race to who can kill each other first, and being able to pressure your opponent earlier gives you not only the capacity to snipe someone out, later in the game, but if they can't return fire, it gives you that extra space between you and them where you might have an extra turn that comes into play where you didn't do anything in the next round, but the round after that you get a kill, and now you're ahead in the damage game and winning.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But I think what's really interesting is here, Drew's still sitting on that R2.
Yeah.
So he can just flip it into 2 whatever he wants.
Yep.
And it could be a really big play, especially if he rolls 2 sticks. He could flip into the Entourage special to deal 4 damage, and then use the focus on Satine to flip into a 3-for-1 on Fick. Like, his options are very, very strong right now.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So we see the Entourage special. Kyle has an opportunity to respond here. Let's see what he does.
If not, he's taking 4. He's dropping easy pickings.
All right.
And there's a 2
Wow.
and a 2.
That's damage.
Or is that 3? 2 or 3? Can't tell.
But Kyle is showing damage on Chopper and Chewie's Blaster. C-3PO gets to go home early. We're sending him home from work because he is definitely not going to be able to perform his duties here. But in return, C-3PO on the other side gets punched right in the knee, and he needs to go see a doctor, so we're kicking him out. So it's 3PO on 3PO, bye-bye, baby. And now R2 rolls out, rolls a stick, one stick,
and
flips the Fickle into a gun, and...
interesting he went to the 1 out the 2.
So, thoughts here. Kyle does not have nearly the board presence that Drew does anymore. However, Drew lost 2 dice compared to Kyle's 1 die.
Yeah.
And Drew no longer can use Faithful Companions to really any effect. So, where do we stand on board states here?
I think Kyle still has a little bit of edge in characters, but Drew's got those supports going. So, it's one of those things like Satine's still going to do work, and you just don't get the droid interactions much anymore. But you still got, 2 dice that can do 4 damage on a special side each. That's nothing to take easily,
Right. So as we said in previous rounds, Fickle Mercenaries has the ability to spend 2 resources to buy it from your opponent. Kyle has 3. So Drew needs to roll that out first, because Kyle has to decide right now, do I let him pay $1 to deal 3 damage to me, or do I spend 2 resources to take a used support? Or he could just use this off the sensors and remove the die.
Scoundrel die.
Yeah, it's gross. All right, here we go. There's some indirect damage showing from Hired Muscle. Once again, 3-for-1. And Kyle is left with a problem, and let's see how he solves it.
Oh, wait, he actually couldn't have played that. All the sensors require spotting red, so he shouldn't have been able to remove that die. So that's a misplay there by Kyle. Of course, it's up to both players to keep an eye on it. And so we got the damage coming from Salvaged Arm onto R2. So I don't know if we can return the game state to there. We'll see. We'll see what they do here. Yep, they're returning the game state back to where it was. And the old rewind button here.
All right, here we go. So, can't play off the sensors. Let's see how Kyle deals with that 3-for-1. Okay. Field Medic is a really good response, too. So now we're in a spot where a single entourage special can kill Chopper.
Yep.
So we know Kyle has off the sensors that he can't play.
Yeah, R2 should have a little less damage on him from the. There we go.
Yeah. Glad that the judges are able to help make sure the game state is intact as best as it possibly can. Chopper rolls out some pretty significant numbers. We've got sticks, guns, and disrupt.
Yep.
All right, here comes Hired.
2 discard for
Oh,
$1.
wow. I mean, I'm a mill player. I would do that. You know your opponent has 1 dead card in their hand, and if you can hit 2 cards that aren't that one, then you know your opponent has, out of 5 cards, 2 cards are out, 1 card is dead, so 2 of them are, who knows?
I perform violence, so we're going to do... Yep. So 2 damage. Yep, 2 damage from that. Ambush action, 5 more, so that's a dead R2.
That is what I call gross.
Yeah.
Excellent play from Kyle. He was able to get out of a really bad situation, and Drew's not on the back foot, but he doesn't have any characters hardly. He's got Satine, which does let him do a lot of re-rolling, which is good. And he does have the Entourage dice, which are very potent. But Kyle still seems to have a lot of tricks in his bag.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Drew has to respect it. Like we said previously, they're brothers. They're on the same team. I'm sure they play each other all the time. But you never know what's in your opponent's hand.
And there goes the chopper die. Going to disrupt here. Yeah.
So in theory, if everything goes according to plan, Drew should be able to get a kill on Chopper here and put a pretty sizable chunk of damage into R2. Now, this is all theory crafting, but what do you do as Kyle since you know...
the discard here.
All right, here we go.
There's off sensors.
There's off the sensors.
And the booster.
Which Chopper can reanimate should he so choose.
Yeah, that's actually the card you didn't want to throw in there.
Yeah. But like I said, so that we could see a really huge swing in damage coming out. Oh,
there's a special.
There's a special. So can Kyle use that last card? Does he have the heart of the cards
No,
to get the... All right.
Going to shield up.
All right. Let's see what Drew decides to do. But yeah, Drew's got cards in his hand. He's got Satine. She's got focus. She's got a reroll. He's showing damage. I mean, there's a lot in Drew's favor right now. But as we saw, Kyle was able to not really give to Banthapudus and just blow R2-D2 out of the water.
Yeah.
So we could see an explosive turn next round, and Satine just disappears. But while you're playing as Kyle and you're staring down a lot of potential damage, what are you going to do here? What are you trying to set up, especially since we don't know what that 1 card is?
I mean, I think well, here we go. So 4 into Chopper, so 3 after the shield, so just 1 left there. And what's that last card? All right, rolling its teeth.
Not a right
pass.
shield.
Yeah.
He would have played it.
All right, so 2 for 1 and
right,
2
Satine
indirect.
rolls.
2 money.
No.
That's not what you want.
But he had the indirect showing at that point in time. He does have a lot of cards
All right, 2 indirect.
to do. I'm assuming Kyle passed since Drew took an action after rolling.
3 more on R2, so
Do you think Kyle has a riot shield?
I think if he would have played it by now.
All right, pitching to reroll. No damage showing. Seems like Kyle
Pitching
passes
reroll
again.
again.
Drew's rerolling. Drew is trying to get a kill here.
Well, there's a focus, so he's going to get the special
All right.
if
What,
he wants it.
What does Kyle have? He's okay.
All right, he's going
he
to claim.
claims.
Yep.
All right, so
That's gonna be
Satine
a
will
dead
focus.
Chopper.
Could be a dead R2 because he focuses into the 4 damage. Drew
Yeah,
can
but-
kill whoever he wants.
But with that rocket booster in there, I mean, I think...
No, you're right. But the thing is, like, this kind of
he
comes to
can
that point.
he
You
can-
don't want to overkill.
Yeah, you don't want to overkill, but I think Chopper's the bigger threat on the board right
I completely agree. But Chopper only has 1 health.
now. Yeah.
Now, once again, like, both aspects are right. Chopper has 1 health,
Yep.
but he is a threat. Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, he does kill R2.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's the thing is, like, do you really want to overkill and, like, you have a 4 health droid versus a 1 health droid?
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those, like, again, decisions that
Yeah,
you
it's
come
a
up
decision
with.
tree, yeah. Because here's the thing. Chopper has to roll max damage to kill Satine, and that's very difficult to do.
Yeah.
Not impossible, but not super
Field medic and 2 automated defenses will certainly help Kyle in his attempt to try and deal 9 damage here.
Yep, you're absolutely. We could see Field Medic become the MVP of this game again. We don't know.
But then again, those sides on Entourage now are huge. They're not,
Oh yeah. All right, Chopper rolls out, and he
not
gets
much.
you the 2.
I mean, he gets the 2, but
You're halfway there.
yeah.
You're getting some of the things you need. All right, let's see what Drew does. I have a feeling he's got some party tricks up his sleeve here. There's a lot of options, and this goes right back to what we're saying. You have to parse through your decision tree to figure out, what do I really want to do here?
I mean, even the 2 indirect on Satine right now is really, really good.
Yeah, and literally any damage will kill Chopper if Kyle has no response to it.
We know he has a field medic, and there's that. Okay, so.
Well, you know what? Drew knows too.
Yeah.
All right, here is the Fickle. Now, I'm assuming Kyle is probably going to buy
Yep.
it or remove
No,
it.
he removes it.
That's a good play. All right, now we roll this out to force some damage.
There's
Does Kyle have another removal card?
deals 3 to Satine.
I'm pretty sure the answer is no.
Well, he
because-
does. I mean, I think he's going to wait for something that's going to kill him, which.
Oh, that's a 2-for-1?
So,
Okay.
gets rid of that.
Removes that. Here comes this.
Disrupt
no
side.
damage.
No.
But once again, he's got dice for days. Chopper does not want to work with him. He has 2 damage showing. But he really needs Chopper to be on the 2. And Chewie's Blaster is what, 3-for-1? 4-for-1?
4-for-1.
Okay. Yeah, he needs...
Reroll.
All right.
Special on Entourage.
And we see
That's
indirect
game.
damage. And the hand goes out. Congratulations. Drew takes the win. Kyle played that masterfully.
He did, yeah. I
That
mean,
was very well played.
again, another game between 2 very high-level competitors, and came out.
That was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it was
It
great.
was a lot of fun to watch. We saw lots of very, very well-determined plays, very difficult situations where any kind of mistake could have led to your opponent having just enough advantage to take a character or even take the lead and just push you out of the game. So congratulations to Airbrook Gaming. That was a lot of fun to watch between Kyle and Drew. So this is the end of the 8 rounds of Swiss. So we are going to be wrapping this up. I'm sure the Chance Cube is going to be taking pictures of the top cut, so you can check that out on their Facebook page. So congratulations to everyone here at the Nova Open. Thank you so much for showing up. It has been a blast doing commentary and watching 8 really amazing rounds of quite a few different decks. Early in the game, we saw multiple different decks, and later in the game, we saw multiple different matchups between very skilled opponents, and it's just fun.
It's great. It's great. Yeah, we
super
saw
fun.
a lot of good Destiny today. These guys are having, going for it all, and appreciate them, you guys watching at home, and hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, so congratulations to everyone who played. A big congratulations to all the players who make it into day 2 tomorrow. So definitely stay with the Chance Cube. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe because they're going to be streaming the Top Cut tomorrow here on Sunday, as well as they're going to have periodical Facebook and social media updates throughout the course of the weekend. So my name is Sugi. I'm with the Knights Run Podcast. My friend Billy here.
I'm play over at Todd's shop and tag and hang out on online as well. So
other than our shameless shilling and the droids that you're not looking for, thank you so much for watching. And once again, big thank you to the Chance Cube for their time and dedication to this game to bring it to everyone who wasn't able to make it to this event. So good night, Gracie. We'll see you tomorrow for Top Cut.
Yeah.
All right.
This coverage of Star Wars Destiny is supported in part by our patrons. The Chance Cube wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the support of our patrons. We appreciate each and every one of you who generously support us in our mission to explore Star Wars Destiny and educate players along the way. We couldn't do it without you. If you would like to join our friends in high places, then head over to patreon.com patreon.com/thechancecube. $1 a month goes a long way to maintaining and growing content like this and much more. And special thanks to Jim Goss, Derek Bertram, and Nathan Henderson for their generous support as top-tier patrons.